Hello, this is Kevin Smith of Scholarly Changeworks, and I would like to talk with you today about the idea and the concept of suggestibility. Now, oftentimes, people have it a little mixed up and confuse it with the idea of being gullible, saying, oh, you're just so suggestible, you can, it's not so much that you're being gullible, it's the degree to which a person can be influenced or that a person can be influential is determined by the degree of susceptibility, which has a lot to do with the level of rapport that a person that exists between two people. So everybody is influenced by the environments around them, by the people in their circle of contacts and their closer circle of friends and lovers and all of that. And there's degrees there. So, like, if a person just passes me on the street and gives me some sort of insult and says, you're a jerk, I'm like, he walks on and I'm walking on. Well, that's not going to be internalized by me, and I'm not going to accept that as a real influential thing in my life. Whereas if a close friend of mine, somebody that I really value their opinion, comes to me and says, Kevin, that was not okay, man. It was not cool. Well, I am more likely and more liable to go and internalize that, and it's going to cause an effect and a reaction within myself. If my wife says something like really horrible, well then, like, that becomes devastating. And it's why, and my wife doesn't tell me horrible things, but for people who do experience verbal abuse from their significant other, it's a real thing, and it has devastating consequences and effects upon the person and their psyche. But beyond this, we are most suggestible to ourselves. So little backstory here. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2011, and one of the things that oftentimes comes with multiple sclerosis is a chronic fatigue and feeling tired all the time. And it's true. I, at times, do experience a level of fatigue that could be said to be higher than some other people. Not as high as others, but, it's a thing. And now if I tell myself, I have this experience and this feeling, and I say, oh, I'm just so tired. Well, that's going to start a feedback loop, because I've had this physical experience, but then I go and I feed that suggestion back to myself, which has an effect in my body. And if I then go and have that experience that's intensified, and I verbalize, or even internally, with self-talk in my head, think, oh my God, I'm just so tired, then it just continues this hypnotic loop. And the interesting thing is that this is rather how hypnotic loops work in more formal hypnosis, that you have a belief, and then you pace and match an experience, and then you lead that, and it just follows around because it creates a physiological response, neurophysiological response. So you can also think of it like taking a microphone when you put it in next to a speaker and you hear that, it gets really loud and really high pitched, and it's really annoying. And don't do that, because you'll also burn out electronics. But it's a similar thing. It's taking that gentle hum of a regular piece of electronic equipment, it feeds it into the system, which then amplifies it and sends it back to the speaker, and it puts it out, which then the microphone takes, and amplifies it, feedback, on and on and on, and it amplifies, and it gets really high, really loud, and really annoying. So in a similar way, our self-talk is the suggestibility that we are most susceptible to. So I would suggest that you make it a habit, or maybe not even a habit, let's just go for the next few days and say, okay, what are some of the things that I tell myself? What are some of the things that you tell yourself? And if those things are not congruent with how you would like to be in the world, then you might ask yourself, how can I frame this differently? And so just let me know in the comments, and for those of you that are within my society and that actually see me in person, just let me know how what are you now aware of that you might not have been aware of in the same way before, and we can talk about that. And please do like video, thumbs up. If you would subscribe if you'd like to hear more of this. I'm starting to put out more and more content. So yeah, we'll just leave it at that then, and have a good day.